Hola chicos y chicas y bienvenidos a nuestra clase de español. Hoy en clase vamos a aprender sobre las preposiciones de lugar o en inglés, prepositions of location. La meta de la semana or the goal of the week is for you to be able to say, I can use prepositions in a sentence to describe where something or someone is located. Primero vamos a practicar la pronunciación de 10 frases preposicionales en español. So here you're going to see the 10 different prepositional phrases that we're going to learn. And first, we're going to practice the pronunciation of each of those prepositional phrases in Spanish. An example would be the English phrase next to, which in Spanish would be al lado de. Segundo, vamos a practicar cómo crear algunas oraciones completas usando estas frases preposicionales. So second, after we practice how to pronounce those different phrases, we're going to learn how to create different sentences using those phrases. Now, the goal of this is for you to be able to describe where something is located in relation to something else. So if you look at the English sentence here, the apple is next to the box. You can tell where the apple is located in relation to the box because of that prepositional phrase, next to. So for our first step, like what we do in class anytime we get any new vocabulary, we're going to practice how to pronounce that vocabulary in Spanish. I'm going to go through the 10 different phrases and I'm going to say them in Spanish and I'll pause afterwards. That's your opportunity to practice your pronunciation by repeating it after me. We're going to do this 2 times for each prepositional phrase, and I'm also going to start to show you some examples of each of those phrases as they're used in a sentence in Spanish. Bueno, empezamos con, we're going to get started with a la derecha de. Una vez más, a la derecha de. This translates to mean to the right of, and an example would be la manzana está a la derecha de la caja. In English, that means the apple, la manzana, está, to the right of, a la derecha de, the box, la caja. La próxima, a la izquierda de. A la izquierda de. That translates to mean to the left of. And one of these tricky words is probably the word left. So let's try that one more time. Left in Spanish is izquierda. Izquierda. An example would be la manzana está a la izquierda de la caja, or the apple is to the left of the box. Al lado de. Al lado de. That translates to mean to the side of or next to. Here we have a different picture. Instead of an apple, we have a ball. So our sentence is, la pelota está al lado de la caja. The ball, la pelota, está, to the side of or next to, al lado de, the box, la caja. Cerca de. Cerca de. Cerca de translates to mean close to or near. Again, we have a picture of a ball that's, in this picture, close to or near the box. So our example sentence will be, La pelota está cerca de la caja, which translates to mean the ball is close to the box, or the ball is near the box. Detrás de. Detrás de. Detrás de translates to mean behind. La manzana está detrás de la caja. The apple is behind the box. En. En. En is one of those words that's very commonly used in Spanish, and it translates to mean in, on, or at. An example could be, La manzana está en la caja, or the apple is in the box. You might think of using the phrase, the apple is inside of the box, or la manzana está dentro de la caja, but we're going to try and keep it simple and just limit it to 10 different prepositional phrases. Encima de. Encima de. Encima de translates to mean on top of. So, la manzana está encima de la caja, or the apple is on top of the box. Enfrente de. Enfrente de. Enfrente de translates in English to be in front of. Y un example, la manzana está enfrente de la caja. The apple is in front of the box. Entre. Entre. Entre translates to mean between. So here we're seeing that the apple is between the boxes, or in Spanish, la manzana está entre las cajas. The apple is between the boxes. Lejos de. Lejos de. Lejos de translates to mean far from. So here, la pelota está lejos de la caja. The ball is far from the box. So those were our 10 different prepositional phrases. You can find this vocabulary, if you want to refer back to it later, under a resource in the Google Classroom. It's titled Prepositions of Location Vocabulary, and you can always use that as you go through our different assignments as they have to do with these different phrases. So next, now that we've practiced our pronunciation, we're going to go on to the second part of our lesson, and that's figuring out how to use these prepositional phrases in a sentence. So this is going to be the sentence structure that we're going to use. Notice here that we start with the word for the, which could be el or la, depending on the gender of the noun that comes afterwards. So we'll start with the. Next, we have a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. So in our examples, the apple or the ball. We have the verb is, está, in this case. Afterwards, we're going to use one of those prepositional phrases like behind, detrás de, between, entre, next to, al lado de. After, we're going to have another form for the, which could be el, la, los, or las, depending on the gender of the noun that comes after it, and number. Is it singular or plural? And we're going to finish it off with a noun, which again is a person, place, thing, or idea. So an example could be The apple is behind the box. We're going to go through 4 different examples. So right now, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and on a spare piece of paper, try and complete or fill in these blanks using the correct prepositional phrase. If you think that's a little too challenging, then we're going to go through right afterwards and do them one by one together. Let's start with this first one. The apple is behind the box. La manzana está. Now we have to think, what's that word for behind? What's that prepositional phrase? If you look at this resource, we can find that word behind right here, which in Spanish again is detrás de. So to complete our sentence, la manzana está detrás de la caja. Our next sentence, we're going to try and say the apple is between the boxes. So we're going to fill in the blank with that prepositional phrase for between. Again, if we look at our resource down below here, we're going to see that that word between in Spanish is entre. Our complete sentence then becomes la manzana está entre las cajas. Our next sentence, we're going to try and say the apple is in front of the box. So let's fill in the blank here with that prepositional phrase in front of. Again, if we don't know all of them because we just learned them, we can look at our resource and find, in front of is right here, enfrente de. Okay? All together, la manzana está enfrente de la caja. Our last sentence, we're going to try and say the apple is to the right of the box. Using our resource, we see that to the right of is a la derecha de. So that sentence can be translated as la manzana está a la derecha de la caja. Muy bien. So we just practice 4 different sentences describing where something is located in relation to something else. So where the apple is located in relation to the box. Let's go into a different example, not using a ball or an apple. Let's use some of our previous vocabulary from last trimester and try and do this whole sentence on our own. At the top, you're going to see the different sentence structure. Again, starting with el or la for the word the Spanish word for a noun, the word is, which in this case is está, a prepositional phrase, another version or another word for the, el, la, los, or las, and then the last part will be another noun. So here, if we look at the picture, if we wanted to describe where the purse was located to someone, we might say something like, the purse is to the left of the shirt. Okay, let's break this apart. The purse. If we think back from our last trimester, we might remember that the word for the purse is la bolsa. We're going to use the word is, está, that prepositional phrase to the left of, a la izquierda de. The word the shirt is going to finish it off with la camisa. So that whole sentence, the purse is to the left of the shirt, becomes la bolsa está a la izquierda de la camisa. Muy bien, chicos y chicas. Ahora es tu turno Now that we've learned 10 different prepositional phrases, it's your turn to show what you know. So I'm going to give a brief explanation of what your assignment for the week is here. And in my next video, I'm going to start to kind of explain exactly step by step how to do it on your computer at home. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to choose 8 of those 10 different prepositional phrases, and you're going to create 8 different sentences in Spanish describing where something or someone is located in relation to something or someone else. Again, like our last slide with our example of the purse is to the left of the shirt. La bolsa está a la izquierda de la camisa. Then what you're going to do, after you figure out the different sentences that you want to use, you're going to represent each sentence with an image. Now, you can draw these images, you can take pictures of items around your house, or you could just find different pictures or images online using Google Images. Then you're going to create your own Google slideshow. On each slide, you're going to include your image and your sentence. Lastly, once you finish, you're going to share your slide with your teacher. And like I said, in our next video, I'm going to go through step by step of how you're going to be able to do this. For now, we're going to stop it here. We just finished our first class in Spanish, and hopefully it wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions or concerns about anything, remember you can always email me. And if you needed to find my email address, it's located in the Google Classroom. All right, gracias. Nos vemos. Adiós.